This is Dr. Dew. I am here to share with you about a book that I authored that I believe is a book that will be a blessing and a joy to those people who have been through um, various possibilities of sexual abuse, uh, molestation, um, all kinds of dysfunctionalities when it comes to sex. This book is a book that came out of my pain from what I suffered as a child and received my uh, deliverance and healing at a time in life that couldn't have come at a better time for me. And you're probably saying, well, what happened in his childhood? Well, basically, in my childhood, at the age of somewhere in the 4 or 5 age period, I was actually raped by my father and my brother, and molested by my sister. And the interaction with my dad actually went on at various times because he worked in a women's clothing store, and I would go there with him, and he would do what he had to do, cleaning, and then there were the mannequins, and there I was. And so his favorite term was, let me diddle you. And so that happened and went on, and from that I became a very sexualized, very confused, messed up person for a long time. And yet I was able to receive Christ, or anyway, Christ offered himself to me, and at the age of 11, I actually received Christ. I got baptized in the water, and I was spoke in tongues. That was, I guess, was a big thing of that church that I was in, which my family was a part of, which the Lord later told me to come out from among. But at that point at 11, I was following, my parents' footsteps. And you say, well, where was your mom in all this? Well, my mom was working 2 and 3 jobs. I can remember starting to get food for myself and cook and what have you. I would say I was about 7 when I really started having to do things for myself. And I remember I had a hatred of bologna and salami. Ugh. To this day, I can't stand it. Other than sometimes on a pizza, I'll eat it if I really have a hunger for a pizza. Anyway, you don't care about that. But then at age 13, I started teaching Sunday school. Yeah, I'm teaching Sunday school. And you can imagine what a situation that was, how draining it was. But as a child and as a person who was misguided, I had no idea really what was going on. I was so in a fog and so sexualized that everything had a sexual value or sexual meaning to me. But thank God that I went through a lot of scrapes, and I'm going to share that in a book that's going to be coming out pretty soon that will go into detail, all the little detail of the things that happened that I can remember, and that happened to me, and the key though is how God brought me out, told me not to do to my son what was done to me, not to do to my daughter and my granddaughter. So my son and my grandson and my granddaughter, they're fine, thank God. So when I got through that and got the healing, a lot of stuff started coming to me, and I wrote this book, and it was really a process or part of the healing, because one of the scriptures that I knew, and you got to understand, when you grow up in the church, you, more than likely, you hear over and over and over, you hear the same scriptures, and so it gets in your spirit, or at least it gets into you. And for me, for example, it really didn't get into my spirit until I accepted, the call after I had backslidden for quite a while, and I heard the Lord say, "Don't go back, but get yourself together." And that's when I started to really study, and I'm continuing to study. But the scripture was, He sent His word and healed them of all their destructions. And so this word, I'm getting that as I'm going through this healing process and delivering process. And out of it came this one thing called what Paul said in Ephesians. He said, "Don't let this be mentioned among you." And the Lord said, "Hey, but they have, the pastors, the teachers, the people that are in authority, they have taken that and misinterpreted it." What Paul was saying is, he was really saying to deal with these things and to help people to be set free, and the folks that are going through, don't ostracize them, don't cast them out, and don't make fun of them like what we see in the church, in so many churches today. And I gotta say, now, Mackenzie Phillips coming out with her expose, and then the others in the last few weeks, it is wonderful, because that's how healing takes place. You confront the issue, you deal with it, you forgive, your perpetrators, and then you let the healing take place, and you move on and grow. And that's what I was able to do, to forgive my father, forgive my brother, forgive my sister, and to love them, but move on. And in the process, I wrote the book, Shh, Don't Say a Word About This: Exposing and Confronting Sexual Perversion. Here's the book. I'm putting it here so you can see it. There we go. It's nice and clear. You can see that I wrote it. And this book has won a literary award. Can you believe that? It's won a literary award. Oh, let's see if we can get it straight for you. Yeah. And as a result of that, winning that award, that really has given me great joy, because now the book is not just something that was written, but it's something that was well written and has served and is serving as a tool of healing, a tool of deliverance, a tool of liberation. And you got to get it, because in here it's not about condemning, it's not about making people feel bad. It's about letting you know what I know, and that is that we have choices, because He gave it to us, not because of man, but God has given us choices, and as a result of that, we can live a very wholesome and peaceful life once we are able to deal with the things that have done us in. We become the victors.